the Uniform Civil Code. The 22nd Law Commission has invited opinion suggestions from religious groups and other stakeholders on what they think of one law, one nation. What does it really mean away from the politics? Of course, we're going to bring in the politics in it as well. But what does a Uniform Civil Code mean? What are the legal contours of it? What are we looking at? And ultimately, is India actually ready for the Uniform Civil Code? I want to quickly introduce you to our panelists this evening. I have with me, starting from the right, Akshita, my colleague, as well as Nalini, who's going to give us the legal perspective on this, Gaurav Sawant, Nabila, Jamal and Anisha. Let's start with our legal team first. So, Nalini, what do you make of it, the 22nd Law Commission inviting opinion? You know, as much as the matter is political, it's also deeply social, ingrained in India's fabric or narrative of, you know, religion, polarity, all of that comes into the picture. But explain on what's the current context of why we are once again talking about the UCC.
Well, Preeti, at the very outset, first let me say that the debate is not about whether or not the Uniform Civil Code is a good thing or a bad thing. Of course, it's a good thing. That's why it's a part of the Constitution. That's why it's part of the Directive Principles of State Policy. Thank you. So, for that very reason, it needs to be understood that what we are debating today is India ready for a Uniform Civil Code, which has been the debate since 1948,
right,
since the time of the Constituent Assembly when our Constitution was still being drafted. And contrary to what you said, I don't think the issue is neither political nor social. I think the issue is first legal.
True.
And the problem why I think, and my opinion is very clear, that India, in my opinion, is not ready for a Uniform Civil Code. And the reason for that is because the issue is being made political. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is put it as part of its manifesto.
Since 98.
Yes, which is so gung-ho today about a Uniform Civil Code, is the same Bharatiya Janata Party that back in 1950 was opposing the codification of Hindu laws. And the Congress Party that is today against the Uniform Civil Code is the same Congress Party that put us 10 steps back after the Shah Bano judgment.
True.
When they brought in the protection, ironically, of Muslim women from Divorce Act. So keeping that in mind, politicians should not be given the job to decide as to whether or not the Uniform Civil Code should be brought into the country, is my opinion at the very first.
All right, let's get another legal opinion. Go ahead. Anisha wants to make a point.
Adding to what Nalini said, this issue is not really political as much as it is social, and we also need to look at it from a social and, if I may use the word here, a feminist perspective. Because remember, the question is about giving equal rights to all citizens, giving equal chance to all citizens. When we are looking at the question of a Uniform Civil Code, what are we really looking at? And that is what we need to see. We're looking at marriage laws, divorce laws, inheritance, succession, adoption, guardianship. At the moment, as the laws stand, none of the religions in the country are particularly happy giving equal status to their daughters, to their daughters-in-law. We've had multiple Supreme Court judgments, we've had multiple amendments which have sort of pushed for an equal status in law. If you stop looking at it from a religion-specific perspective, look at it from the legal and social point of view. It took a Supreme Court judgment in 2020 to say, even in Hindu law, which had co-partnershry rights, give it to your daughter.
No, you know, okay. That's exactly the way I look at it, because politics be damned, even though it's been part of politics, whether we like it or not, ever since it became a part of a manifesto of a political party. For me, I look at it, Gaurav, from a very basic level. If we have the gumption to take down Article 370 in Kashmir, then when it comes down to gender equality, I want the Uniform Civil Code, because I think every woman deserves an equal chance in this country.
You know, if we are truly secular, as a state, then it's not religious laws that should govern any citizen. It should be the law passed by Parliament of India. And look, let's just break this down. What does this mean? A Hindu, a Christian or a Sikh can be prosecuted for having 4 marriages which are permitted for a Muslim. What do we want in our society? Do we want a society where everyone's equal, governed by the same laws? Or in 21st century India, we want religion-specific discriminatory laws, even if it is, you know,
by the way,
you know,
polygamy and polyandry.
you know,
It's
exactly.
not just Muslims. So this is precisely my problem.
Okay,
The precise problem
let's finish and then
of the government versus Muslims, right? It's almost looking like as if it's targeting one community, because you raise exactly that. You exactly raise polygamy, which is also a problem
with that is it is not just about bigamy.
Okay, let's go one by one.
If it wasn't about religion, then I'm all for it.
Okay, let's go one by one. Okay, Gaurav, Nabila, let him make a point.
1 year ahead of 2024.
Okay,
Gaurav,
complete your comment.
I am so sorry that, you know, we are in a panel with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women. 5 women, and we are saying that we are not ready for... She said, this is not the right time. Hold on. You can outshout me, I'm sure. Well, there are five.
Okay, let's not outshout anybody.
One by one, let's go one by one.
How many women are in corporates in India? You tell me that. How many women are in CEO positions in India? How many women are actually empowered?
You know what? Let's not have this. Let's not have this.
Okay, 1 second, let's do one by one because nobody can hear anything. Gaurav, you quickly make your point.
Gaurav, why don't you point out?
Nabila, let him make her point.
What is the government doing?
Nabila, let him make his point, and then we'll come.
No, what I
go
don't
ahead,
approve of is saying that one religion is allowed, why not the others? These are prosecuted, Muslims are not. I mean, let's get
It's not about Muslims. The number of
Let's also remember the fact that it is not about one religion.
It's about inheritance. If you look at
from that anti-Muslim rhetoric.
Great, go ahead, Gaurav.
Okay.
As anchors at least.
Okay, if I'm permitted to just complete my point.
Make your point.
It was in 1791 that a French feminist, Olympe de Gouges, in 1791, she was fighting for rights of women to be able to get a divorce, for women to have equal rights. In 1791, she won it. 1792 in France. We are in 2023 in India, and we don't want the same equal rights for women.
Nabila, go ahead.
If you do, then let us. Okay, permit me to complete my point. Give me 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds to complete my point.
Nabila.
Okay, I am sorry. So let a woman decide who she wants to marry, who she wants to divorce. Inheritance, give her equal rights.
Exactly.
Give her equal rights.
Let's go one by one. Nabila, okay, Nabila, just go ahead, and then Anisha, and then Nalini, and then Akshita.
My only point is,
go ahead.
we've got to start as a society first to empower women in the true sense, right? And that comes with ensuring, giving space to women, give them roles in corporates, allow them to become, step up as CEOs.
Why can't UCC be that first step?
No, why should that be the first step?
Why not?
May I just interject?
Uniform civil code is at the cost of killing diversity in many levels.
How does it kill diversity?
Let her finish. I have a question. Is there any format of a uniform civil code that the government has presented for us to think, all right?
Nabila, but there is no
whatsoever. There's no draft.
Okay, there is no draft.
Another thing.
Make your point. Okay, let Nabila make her point.
We are so diverse as a country. Tell me if all communities are actually having that kind of trust and belief in the government for them to actually accept the uniform civil code as of today.
I'm sorry, nobody really accepts the laws as
Akshita, one second. Nabila, let me bring in Akshita. Akshita hasn't had a word in.
For starters, Nabila, just a yes or no. Are you opposing the UCC?
Not at all. But I'm not accepting it as of today.
But you're saying it doesn't accept diversity.
As of today, Nabila.